Hey, what's up everybody? It's Shazette. I hope you guys are doing well. Listen, I'm super excited about this video today. Really just super excited at this moment in general. I just arrived in Freeport, Grand Bahama. I'm here for a 5-day mission trip as we work on some of the relief efforts for Hurricane Dorian, which is the hurricane that kind of took this area by storm nearly 4 months ago. And so I wanted to, though, I'll be talking some more about that, doing some more videos kind of about what we see and what we're doing here. But this video in particular is really focused on how we pack. This is my second mission trip in about 3 weeks, a 3 or 4 week time span. And so one trip was for about 10 days. This one altogether is for about 7 days if I add in my travel time from Dallas and back to Dallas. But even if either of those trips was for 30 days, it would not change what I pack. I try my very best to be an ultralight traveler for a number of reasons, and we'll go through those reasons in a few moments or maybe in another video. But I wanted to really just show you guys how I pack. I've had a lot of questions about how I pack, why I pack the way that I do. But I really want to show you how easy it is, and easy in the sense that it's doable, right? And after you have some practice, it's really more than doable. And to be honest, I could downsize some, but this is the only bag I carry when I travel, unless I'm taking some things to the place with me, like supplies in or something like that. It looks a little large in the camera, but this is a 19-liter backpack. This is made by a company called Tom Ben, and I'll talk about that. It's not sponsored by them. I've been researching Tom Ben bags for a few years now, but because of the price point, I've kind of hesitated on actually purchasing, but it is by far one of the best purchases I've ever made in terms of travel gear. I'm super excited about that. So this is a 19-liter bag. And I want to just kind of give you guys an idea of what's in the bag. I'm going to pull everything out so that you can see what's in there, and then I'll give you kind of an over top view so that you can get a better idea of what's in the bag and how we pack it. So let's start with the outside of the bag a little bit. I may have to adjust the camera some, so bear with me. Or maybe I'll just pull it up in my lap. There we go. So let's start with the outside of the bag. I don't mind things on the outside of the bag, but these are things that I use on the actual journey generally to where I'm going. These are battery packs, and I do them by Carabiner. This is called the My Charge Adventure. It's a really rugged battery pack. I've got 2 of these that I travel with. This one has 2 plugs in it as well. This is the smaller of the 2, and then I've got the larger one. That's the same brand. It's a different color. Has a bit of a different capacity in terms of how much charge you get out of it. But these 2 together will get me a couple good days of charge for my phone and probably my tablet, and even my laptop if I'm traveling with my laptop, which most of the time I do not. And we'll talk about that in a few moments. But we've got those 2 battery packs. I like them on the outside, and the reason I carry 2 is if one runs out, I'm out like in the field and I don't want to be without power. I also have cameras. But the other thing, like today on the ship, one of my travel mates, both of my travel mates actually needed some power, and so I was able just to toss one of these over, and it's not a big deal. And those go on carabiners. They came on these carabiners, but I prefer my own S-biners, and so I put that on that particular one to carry. This is just my luggage tag. Shout out to my sorors, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. This hand sanitizer, this one's almost empty. I actually need to fill it back up or get another one. I usually have 2 of these on, one here and sometimes one somewhere else, or just both on this outside bag. This is a little tool pouch that holds the Allen wrenches for my my Peak Design connectors for my camera, as well as an adjustment for my tripod. And this little guy, I don't always carry this particular one, but I do find it handy, particularly when I go to tropical places that have markets where I can just get fruit on the go. It's just, let's see if I can show it to you. I got this at one of my local grocery stores on a whim. I think I might have paid $1.99 for it, but it's just a little reusable grocery bag that I can throw some local produce into, wet clothes, anything like that. And it's, if I lose it, so what? But it's great, and it sits right on the outside of the bag with no issue. The other thing that I use, had actually several people stop me and ask me about this particular connector this trip alone. So I am a photographer and filmmaker, which means that I like to have my cameras or at least some variation of my camera, ready and accessible at all times. I'm a street photographer, I'm a documentary photographer, and so very rarely am I out doing portrait type stuff. And so when I see something, I want to be able to grab my camera. And so this is my camera. I'll talk about cameras another day. This is the Fuji X-T20. I absolutely love the Fuji system. I'm going to take it off of here really quick. This is connected to it has a base plate on it, and this is the Peak Design base plate for the capture clip, and this is the Peak Design capture clip. It screws onto my backpack by these little screws here, and it comes loose, but it allows, I'm not taking it all the way back off, take my word for it, but it allows me to, serves as like a little holster, I guess, for my camera. Without being in a case, it allows me to, kind of screw it back on, to simply slide my camera right into there and lock it in place, and it's not going anywhere. Like, it's not going anywhere at all. And so that is really helpful just to have one of my cameras, and it'll hold a full frame DSLR, a point and shoot, whatever you want to put there. It'll hold a GoPro. They have GoPro connectors for it. It'll hold whatever you want it to hold, and it has a little knob here that locks in place for you to make sure that it's actually completely locked, and that the release can't be inadvertently pushed while you're moving around. All right, so that is the outside of my bag. So this bag has a lot of different pockets. I think I'm going to try to adjust your view here. All right, that's a little better. Okay, so this bag has uber pockets, but the one thing I like about this bag is that the technology that they use to make the bag causes it, as you put things in, not to push down on the inside of the bag, but it expands the bag outward. So sometimes you can get large backpacks that have a lot of pockets or whatever, but the more you put stuff in the outer pockets, the less space you end up with inside the main compartment, and that's not the case with this bag. Everything comes out, and so you can see everything is really smooth and it's tight. You can see the imprint of some stuff in here, but my inside cavity is absolutely unbothered and untouched. So I'm going to start here. This is probably one of my favorite pockets. Initially, when I got this bag, I felt that I was going to use this for shoes. And I know it doesn't make sense, this bottom pocket. I thought I was going to use it for shoes. That may not make sense because you're thinking shoes are big and bulky. Well, I am a barefoot shoe wearer. And so that means that this is the bulkiest shoe that I have, or some variation of it. This is the bulkiest shoe that I have. And I'll do another video about my shoes. Right? This is called the Zero shoe. This is the Speed Force. These just came yesterday, but I own several pairs from this brand. And so this is the bulkiest shoe that I generally carry on a mission trip. And so it is a barefoot shoe. I don't need any socks with it. It's fully covered. It's a great shoe. I'll do another review another day. And so, but these are the pair that I actually make the trip in, and so I don't have to worry about getting these into my bag, although if I did, they would fit in that pocket with no problem. All right, thought I was gonna use this for shoes, but I am a photographer and filmmaker, and so this was better used as an audio pocket. Now I brought a little more on this particular trip than I did when I went to India in my personal bag, because India, my godparents live there. I was essentially going, in many ways, going home, and so a lot of toiletry stuff I didn't need to take. But this trip, this is my first trip here. I knew we were coming to a place that had been affected by the disaster, and so I didn't want to be here and have to go and dig and find things. And so you'll find a few things in pockets that they wouldn't necessarily normally be in. This is technically my audio pocket, and so in here, in this pocket, rides all of my audio gear. And so here I've got the Tascam lavalier microphone recorder. I've got the Samsung Go Mic Mobile for when I do Facebook Lives or any sort of live streaming using my cell phone. That gives me solid audio. And both of those fit into this little bag I picked up at the Connection of Young Adult Ministry Conference last summer, or this past summer. And it's perfect for holding my audio. Now beneath here, because this pocket is absolutely monstrous, I stuffed a few other things in there. So I very rarely, if ever, travel without Clorox wipes. You can also do Lysol wipes. I like the extra effect of having the bleach. There's another pack of those in here, along with a pack of flushable wipes. And so those are enough to get me through a week or so. And so that's enough for that. And then I also tossed loosely in here a couple of camera batteries in case on the actual journey I wanted to quickly grab some batteries without pulling my full battery pack out. I do like packing, for the most part, compartmentalized, but there are some redundancies that I'll place throughout my bag just because sometimes it's easier to get to. But that's 2 batteries. That empties out that pocket. So one thing I like about Tom Ben is that they've got all of these D-rings, right? And so if you want to put any sort of clips or carabiners or little containers in there, of course they have all the attachments too, but I enjoy just putting my different little textured bags in there. So that's that pocket. There's also a little hook here if you want to attach, you know, some sort of whatever to the outside. I'm sure you could. I don't. Next pocket, I'll say that now. The next pockets are these 2 side pockets. They are among my favorite. The one thing that I do wish Tom Ben had was some sort of water pouch on the outside. They have a place for a water bottle. I use it for other things. I do wish there was a water bottle space for the outside, but there isn't. That's my only complaint, and it's not a major one. So these 2 side pockets seem to go on forever. I'm gonna unzip this first one. This is what I call my admin pocket. This, my pair of glasses. If I can figure out a way to, less bulky way to travel with my glasses, I will. I've got one of my power plug bases in here. Again, this is redundancy because this is not my power pocket. But if I open up a bag, I want to be able to get to a pocket. I want to be able to get to my chargers if I need to. This is my SD card wallet, which also holds my SanDisk external hard drives. These are SSDs. I'll probably do another video on here. These are 500 gigabytes. I have 2 of them, plus all of my SD cards, my SD card readers, the cord for the hard drives. This is just what that pouch is, and I try to guard it with my life. It has a little clip here, and so sometimes if I feel like I'm in danger of it dropping out for whatever reason, if I'm going to be accessing the pocket, then I connect it to that D-ring. All of these pockets, again, have those D-rings. And then this is where all of my pens are. So these are my archival ink pens that I use to sign my photos, but this is also what I journal with. A Sharpie. I never go anywhere without a Sharpie. Got plain cheap black ballpoint pen, my blue Sharpie pen, and my Apple Pencil for my iPad Pro. Admin pouch, right? Hence admin pouch. This is where I get work done. All right, so leave that out. This pocket is more of a tech pocket for me. For this particular trip, again, there's another power bank there. Really important to me to have power wherever I open my bag. This is my remote control for the DJI Mavic Mini. Just bought it. Haven't even tried it out yet. I did go ahead and brand it out with my Sarayu stickers from Sticker Mule. But this is a perfect side pocket to hold those in here. I'll do a video on the actual drone, let you guys know how we like it. Our Mavic Pro, we ended up sowing a seed into the ministry and organization in India. And so the Lord provided, and we were able to pick up the Mavic Mini for this trip, which is really important for me out here on the islands. I want to be able to get some of the footage, particularly as we head out to the Abaco Islands on Tuesday. All right, so that filled up that pocket. I probably could have fit some more in here, but it wasn't that serious where I need to try and stuff this pocket. All right, let's look here. I'll put it back down. This pocket, so there's 2 zippers here. You guys can see those. We got this one, which opens up into a really big pocket, which we'll go into in a minute. And then we've got this one, which is that little personal pocket you have on the outside of every backpack that's worth its weight. All right, so in this pocket, get everything out of this one. It's kind of tight because I did stuff it kind of tight. This is where I keep, I generally keep a iPhone cord in there, right in the top, that is wrapped in a rubber band. And then this is my first aid, my quick, simple first aid stuff. So I've got some throat lozenges here. I've got, and it's held together by a rubber band. I've got some emergency, there's some Band-Aids in here. There's some feminine wipes. There's some antibacterial wet ones. all that kind of stuff. More band-aids, more wet ones, a pair of tweezers, needle and thread. This is my first aid kit here. And again, this is just basic bumps, bruises, and boo-boos. Nothing serious, no major wounds you're going to treat here, but infection can set in with just even like a paper cut or something, so you want to make sure that you're prepared to keep stuff clean. And so that's what I use this particular thing for. And like I said, there's usually an iPhone cord in there, and that's it. If I have keys or something, then sometimes I'll toss it in there, but that's pretty much all I keep in here. I don't like to have to dig to get to a lot of stuff. All right, this pocket here, this pocket that is right here, I think it's this one actually, this top one. This is meant to be a water bottle pocket. This pocket goes from here all the way down to here. And this is what Tom Ben meant to carry a water bottle. That's fine, but that's not what's most efficient for me, particularly because I wanted to do the 19-liter bag. This bag also comes in a 25-liter. But I didn't want to go that large, and I may end up, but we'll see. I'm enjoying the small package of this so far. All right, so in the top of this pocket, I have my drone, right? This again is the brand new DJI Mavic Mini. Shoots in 4K. I'll do some more video specs about it. But it literally is the size of my cell phone. It's more lightweight than my cell phone. So that's here. It sits in this Trex titanium pouch. I had to pick up a Bluetooth headset in the airport yesterday morning because I lost mine. Well, I left mine at home, and so or last evening, and so the pouch became the perfect carrying case for the drone. And then beneath that in this pocket, because it is deep and has large capacity, is this blue bag here, and this has all of my cables in it. So for my Snapchat spectacles, there's more phone cords in here, USB-C cables, all my dongles, cords, all of that, all in this bag, and that fits nicely down in there and provides some good padding for the drone. If you can look where my hand is hitting right there, that's how deep that bag is. And I'm sure this would work really well for water. And probably while I'm on the island, I will use that for my water bottles. Because all this stuff I don't carry while I'm on the island because we're in an Airbnb. And so I'll be able to leave like my clothing items and stuff like that here. All right, let's go into the main compartment. That is all of the outside compartments now. That's everything on the outside. Let's go to the main compartment. So they just released another one, and I don't remember what it's called. I think it's called the Cynic. Released it a couple of months ago, and it is a total clamshell, so it opens all the way down. I'm not a fan of clamshell style bags. I prefer to have a little more structure to my bag and to be able to zip it up as I go along. That's how I get everything into my bag. But I am a fan of packing cubes. So let's see. I'll unpack it kind of the way that I pack it. Let me adjust this a little bit more to bring it up. All right. So we've got two zippers. These are really, it's not waterproof. They are water resistant. This bag was covered in India in like red dirt and mud, and literally when it dried off, I was just able to do this, and we're back. You can't even tell that it's been covered in red mountain clay. All right, so in here, to start out, this is my passport case. Got that. I keep that in the top. I keep my passport card on my person, either my pocket or somewhere else. But this is my passport pouch, and I keep loose change and other little important things in there. That's in the top part of my bag. Here is the phone cord that's usually in this outside pocket. Just tossed into my bag as we were getting off the ship today. Next is the extent of my toiletries. All right. My contact lens solution fits in here depending on which brand I've picked up. And where this one was a little too chunky, but this is all of my toiletries. On mission trips, I don't really travel with makeup, and so everything else just fits. So this is my contact solution. This is one of the ones I make sure I always travel with. Not ever sure if I can find it where I'm going, so keeping my contacts clean is extremely important. This is my laundry soap sheets. This works well in the sink or in the washing machine if you're at an Airbnb like we are. Works well. Not an absolute necessity. If I lose it, then I always have my bar soap. This is my travel deodorant. Absolutely loving this stuff. This is my first first go around trying it while I was in India a few weeks ago. Came in a 3-pack, ordered on Amazon. Love it. Super small package. Tylenol. I can't take ibuprofen, but I never leave without Tylenol. Fever reducer, pain reducer. Love it. Use it for me and for other people. Toothpaste. Usually can get this wherever, whatever country you've gone to. But I toss one in. My travel toothbrush. Something simple. If I lose it, like I left one in India accidentally, I'll use it when I go back. But if I lose it, it's not a crisis. If I need to throw it away for whatever reason. Fingernail clippers. Don't leave without them. They're just good for a number of things. Yeah, those fit in there. I have my peppermint essential oil. I use it here, but also just helps keep me clear. So that's here. Really a luxury, not a necessity. And then my nasal spray, just in case I get somewhere and allergies flare up. All of those items, it's the fullness of my toiletries with the exception of my borrowed soap that is here somewhere, fit into this one little pouch. That's all of my toiletries. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's all of them. All right. Flashlight. Now, I don't usually travel with this large of a flashlight. All right. My other one yesterday when I was rushing to get finished packing, I couldn't remember where I put. I usually travel with the Stringlight Nano or the Stringlight Stylus Pro. Couldn't find it, so my husband found the next smallest one he could, threw it in my bag. I don't travel without a flashlight. You just never know what might happen. This is my headscarf and bonnet. Every black woman understands the importance of having a scarf and bonnet. Every person with locks understands the importance of having a scarf and bonnet. And so I don't travel without those. Now, here's the bulk of what's in my bag. So that's the top of my bag, and I'm going to show you how much space is in the top of my bag now. I'm going to pull out cube 1 and cube 2. Bag's not empty. I'll bring it back to you in just a second. Let's deal with cube 1. Talked about shoes. Now this is a set of Gonex cubes. I purchased these, and I think there are 3 more that came with it. That were the larger square cubes. Purchased those on Amazon for like 12 bucks. Dirt cheap. Compression bags work well sometimes, but that's not always the case. Let's see what's in this bag. I'll pull that down a little bit more. Let's move these things out of the way. In here, so I gotta get this stuff unpacked and hung up in there. All right, 0 shoes, sandals. I hate having shoes on my feet, and so as much as I can wear sandals, I do. And my 0 shoe sandals, these are the Z-Treks, I think. These are either Z-Treks or Z-Trails, I don't remember. I own a pair of each, and one's in red and one's in black, but these are my favorite. The sole is super thin, again, super, super flexible. No issues whatsoever. Those go in here, but this is my bag. I've unrolled these now, but in this cube are all of my tops, and then my sandals were in here. So I've got, for this particular trip, I've got 3 cotton dashiki shirts. Again, if they need to get left or if they never make it back home, it's no problem. This one was a gift, so I protect a little bit more. Of these 2 I picked up on clearance at a little shop home in Dallas. And like $6 or $7, and so super lightweight. They don't wrinkle, you know, a whole lot, and if they do, it's not a crisis. Cotton, lightweight, which is important to me while I'm in this particular climate. And then I've got 1 t-shirt with me, and that's it for my overshirts. Other than the one that I have on, I also always travel in my heavier clothes. So I knew I wanted to bring a sweatshirt, a little colder in Dallas, and I knew I wanted to bring 1 pair of jeans, and so I wore my heavy stuff. Same reason I travel in my lace-up shoes. All right, so that's 1 cube empty. There was also a pair of shorts in there. Traveled with 2 pairs of pants, my jeans and my shorts. When I went to India, because shorts aren't necessarily appropriate for women there, I traveled with this pair of pants and a pair of long red pants, and I also took a long dress with me. But that 1 pair of shorts here in the Bahamas is gonna do me well. This bag, holds several things. Let's talk about these guys first. These are my microfiber travel towels. Traveled with these for the first time for the India trip, and I absolutely love them. My husband had told me about them. They're great. I traveled this trip this time with 2 face towels and a hand towel. Again, this is enough to get me by. I don't necessarily have to have a big bath sheet to dry off, but we're also in the Airbnb, so I know that there'll be towels here as well. My leg is falling asleep, guys. I'm sorry. And so this was sufficient. And even with the big towel, they roll up to little or nothing. And so those are here on top. This is another long sleeve white t-shirt that I brought with me that can layer under one of the dashikis if I needed to, or as a standalone shirt. So that's it. It's more of an undershirt. And then I've got here, this is my pajamas. Also can double as a bathing suit if I need to, in terms of the pants, but that is knockabout black t-shirt, knockabout black shorts. Can't go wrong with the all black. Underclothes are here. I've got two kind of camisole undershirts here. That are there. Travel with 5 pairs of underwear, and this is my bar of soap. I am partial to black soap because I can use this as shampoo, as laundry detergent, and as my face and body bar. And I haven't found anything else that works as well as it does. It keeps me moisturized, doesn't dry me out. And then here, we're all adults. These are just a few of the sanitary napkins. I don't travel without them, even if it's not my normal time of month. Your body can be thrown off. And so, yeah, that's that. So that is it for me for clothes. And so let's see, we'll go back to the back. And some people are saying, like, how do you just travel with that? There is no place I've been yet, even kind of to some of the poorer places, where I can't A, wash clothes, or B, purchase what I need for pennies on the dollar there. Take it, for instance, when I went to India, I had a couple of shirts made there, and the stuff I'm able to bring back with me that end up being really practical souvenirs as opposed to a bunch of stuff that's just on a shelf. But, and same with toiletries, you know, if you're going somewhere where it may be super expensive, or like, you know, here we are for the storm relief or hurricane relief, then obviously you don't want to go and have to spend a lot of money on stuff. But as much as possible, save the space in your bag, buy what you need, and even in places like this, leave what you buy. If you're at an Airbnb, people who come behind you can use it. Yeah, it's just doesn't make sense to travel with a bunch of stuff for what you would pay to check a bag, to bring so much other stuff. You can buy what you need and leave it for somebody else, donate it, or toss it for that matter. And then in the very bottom of my bag, I've got this pack, and this is actually where these 2 batteries belong. This is the battery pack for my cameras. The beauty of having multiple cameras that are of the same system is that you don't have to carry multiple types of batteries, and so I'm appreciative of that. When I shot Sony, I had multiple Sonys. Now that I'm shooting Fuji X, I have 2 Fuji X's, which I'll show you guys in a few minutes. That's the battery pack. Now that brings me to tech. Do I travel with a laptop? Absolutely no. As much as possible, I don't. I've considered it, but it just adds too much weight to my bag. It's not comfortable for me to carry because of the weight that it adds. And I've got the newer MacBook Pro 13-inch. It's not heavy by any stretch of the imagination, but it adds more weight to my bag than I want to lug through an airport, or if I've got a super long layover. I just don't want to be bothered. The other part of that is when you're flying an airline like Emirates, and if you're flying on an economy ticket, then you have the weight and size constraints. And so for Emirates, it's 15 pounds total for the one bag. It can't be over. They weigh it at the gate sometimes. And my laptop just always sends me overboard. So how do I edit? Well, one, I've got the iPhone 10 maxed out. Haven't decided if I'm gonna get the 11. If I do, it won't be anytime soon. Really just gonna keep beefing out this iPhone 10. It's a really great phone, and it's paid for. The money I can spend on iPhone 11, I can do 2 more mission trips. But what I did invest in a year or so ago, when I learned that Adobe was going to do the full version of Photoshop, was I did get the newer iPad Pro. And this is the smaller iPad Pro, but it has beast capacity. I've done documentaries on here. I've edited photos on here. I use LumaFusion, use the Adobe Creative Cloud Suite, and I'm really, really pleased with it for the package and the weight. And although it's not a cheap piece of equipment, it's definitely exponentially cheaper than my MacBook Pro. If I've got to lose a piece of equipment, I would rather it be this over my laptop, if that makes sense. And so its benefits, the benefits of just traveling with this are really amazing. Then I've got my old trusty notebook. I do travel with an actual paper notebook, and my Bible that's somewhere around here, and that's it, guys. My bag is empty. Like I said, this trip is only 5 days, 5 nights, 4 days. or 4 days, 5 nights. But I was in India for 10 days, and I don't need any more than I have in my bag for a 30 or 60-day trip. I would not pack any more than I have in here. Actually trying to figure out how to pare it down a little bit, because I just would like to have a little extra space in my bag if there's something I want to bring back. I'll do another video about how I travel with this bag on budget airlines. For instance, I flew from Dallas to Fort Lauderdale on Spirit Airlines with this bag and a few other things, because I still have my tripod and a few other things. So I'll say more about that later. Now let's talk about cameras. Cameras that I brought for this, you guys saw the drone. I'm shooting this video on my iPhone X. And then my 2 camera babies, I took one off of here. Let's see. Took one off because it was on the capture clip. I think I buried it. This is the Fuji X-T20. I bought this, actually traded this for a Sony a6500 that I had. A lady on Facebook was looking to trade. I was looking to try the Fuji X system out, and so we did a trade on that one, or on this one. Purchased the lens used at a brick and mortar camera shop. But this is amazing. Shoots 4K video. I've kind of tricked it out and accessorized it a little bit with my own stuff. Not gonna do a review on it. It's got the Ready Right Stuff or the Really Right Stuff base plate on it. Amazing machine. And then I have its predecessor, the Fuji X-T10, that has just a 50 to 230 lens, zoom lens on it. It's not an amazing lens, but it does some really nice stuff, particularly outdoors. This also shoots video, but this is the one I use primarily for video. And again, kind of accessorize it out, tricked it out a little bit, and it has the Peak Design sling on it. And so I carry this one crossbody on my body, and the other one on the outside, because again, I like to be able to access my cameras quickly. If I wanted to fit into the bag, then I would have to make some adjustments inside of my bag, or perhaps, like I said, go up to the 25-liter bag, which I haven't ruled out completely. It will just depend. But that is everything that I carry. Tomorrow when I go out, I clearly won't put clothes in here. My cameras will go in here, some water, some snacks, and probably my rain jacket, which is usually on my body. It's down in the car. I leave it in the car. Left it in the car, but that's it, y'all. Yeah, that's it. Everything I need for 5 days or 5 months in one 19-liter backpack, and it is an amazing way to travel. Oh, speaking of a piece of tech, I picked these bad boys up. These are the Snapchat spectacles, the very first version, and they come in sunglasses if you know anything about them. And so I had a friend of mine who works for an eyeglass company put in some just clear non-prescription transition lenses for me, and these work really well to just be able to get some different perspectives on footage. Okay guys, I think that's it. This video is officially long enough. I'll probably chop down a little bit of stuff, but by and large, if you have any questions, definitely feel free to comment down below. Subscribe to the channel. This is just a new endeavor in terms of trying to bring you guys along on the behind the scenes part of the travel stuff. So this will be a playlist all of its own. But subscribe to the channel, like, comment, hit the little bell so that you guys can get alerts when we load up new content. Beyond that, go out and do what it means to do Sarayu, which is to be creative, to be active, and to live your life to the absolute fullest. All right, take care. God bless. We'll holler at you later.